And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan. Going on Pat's show, just bullying people. Because, LeBron, he's a control freak.
LeBron James was just sharply criticized by Charles Barkley, and this time it went far beyond the usual hot take debates or playful studio banter. Barkley didn't argue statistics or the GOAT conversation. Instead, he went directly at LeBron's character on live television. His tone caught everyone off guard because it wasn't joking or exaggerated for entertainment. Barkley sounded genuinely frustrated and fed up, which immediately changed the mood and made viewers pay closer attention.
Brian Windhurst on one of these shows not too long ago, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just
Charles Barkley went even further, flatly labeling LeBron James a bully and a control freak, and admitting that the respect he once had for him as a man has shifted in a major way. After years of praising LeBron's on-court greatness, Barkley made it clear that something had snapped and that this criticism had nothing to do with basketball skills, leadership, or championship rings. In his view, it was about power, influence, and the way LeBron operates behind the scenes. The situation escalated when Scottie Pippen added his own sharp remarks, reinforcing the criticism from another NBA legend. Now more Hall of Famers are speaking up, and none of them are holding back. The criticism is piling up, and LeBron is suddenly facing heat from voices that once defended him without hesitation, raising the question of whether this is a legitimate reckoning or simply another clash between old-school legends and modern greatness.
An awful week. They both had an awful week. LeBron, he's too big to be that type of bully. To bully Stephen A. and to bully Brian Windhorst. Brian Windhorst is a sweet person, man. He's just trying to do his thing. And I've always liked LeBron, but him being a bully, it turned me off, Dan.
Barkley openly called LeBron a bully on national television and made it clear that the situation bothered him on a personal level. That alone was striking, considering Barkley has spent years praising LeBron's talent, defending him in debates, and consistently separating on-court greatness from off-court noise. This time, however, was different. Barkley wasn't talking about jump shots, leadership, or championships. He said the situation fundamentally changed how he views LeBron as a man, a line that NBA legends rarely cross. He went even further by labeling LeBron a control freak, arguing that nothing LeBron does publicly is accidental. According to Barkley, every move is calculated, every moment intentional, and every confrontation designed for maximum impact. He pointed to LeBron approaching Stephen A. Smith courtside at a Lakers game as an example, suggesting LeBron knew exactly what message he was sending through that display of pressure and power. And, as Barkley made clear, this wasn't something he was willing to excuse or overlook.
Stephen A. is a good dude, man. For him to react, LeBron, like I say, I blame him for starting the bullying, going on Pat's show, just bullying people. Because, LeBron, he's a control freak. He knows everything he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows everything he's doing. He knew when he walked up to Stephen A. what he was doing.
This moment is the latest chapter in a story Charles Barkley has been quietly telling about LeBron James for more than a decade. When you connect the dots, the picture Barkley paints is a harsh one. He has never questioned LeBron's talent, statistics, or basketball IQ. Instead, his concerns have always gone deeper, focusing on control, image, and how power is used when the cameras are on. To Barkley, this cuts straight to the core of who LeBron is as a competitor, and he has been careful to make sure that message isn't missed. Back in May 2023, Barkley sat down on the Spittin' Chicklets podcast and delivered a take that still echoes today. It wasn't loud or flashy, but it landed like an uncomfortable truth. Barkley said this is the real gap between LeBron and the players whose names opponents whispered with fear. He called LeBron a nice guy, which might sound complimentary on the surface, but in Barkley's world, that word carries weight, and not the good kind. In the era Barkley came from, nice meant safe, predictable, and not someone who kept rivals awake at night. He made it clear that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant lived on the opposite end of that spectrum.
Greatest players ever. But LeBron's a nice guy. Nobody ever said that shit about Michael and Kobe. Nobody ever said, man, that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, they're nice guys. Nobody ever said that shit. Michael and Kobe, they were dangerous. They'd kill your ass. LeBron's great, but he's a nice guy.
Barkley explained that true greats don't just want to win, they want to break your confidence and take something from you mentally. When Michael Jordan stepped onto the floor, players tightened up. When Kobe Bryant locked eyes with you, the pressure was felt before the ball was even tipped. According to Barkley, that fear factor is real and cannot be faked or developed later. He then delivered the line that cut the deepest: you cannot learn to be a natural-born killer. In Barkley's view, no training camp, film session, or trophy case can install that instinct if it isn't already wired into you. Jordan and Kobe, he argued, were born with something different, something ruthless and uncomfortable, and LeBron simply doesn't have that switch. Not because he lacks talent, skill, or intelligence, but because his greatness operates differently. Barkley sees LeBron as dominant, calculated, and powerful, but not feared in the same way. He believes LeBron controls the game, while Jordan and Kobe controlled people. That distinction is why the critique stings so much. Barkley wasn't attacking numbers or rings, he was questioning the aura, the presence, the silent threat that changes how opponents breathe on the court. And once that idea is out there, it's hard to ignore. If this were just Barkley talking, it would be easy to brush it off as headline chasing or personal bias, but that excuse doesn't hold up as easily anymore.
Because the killer instinct is not something like I've never, and Michael was one of my best friends ever, and I got to know Kobe a little bit. They will kill you to win. LeBron, he wants to win. But LeBron at the end of the day is a really nice guy. So you can't learn to be a natural-born killer.
But here's the real problem for LeBron supporters. Charles Barkley is far from alone, and the voices backing him carry serious weight. Just this past January, Scottie Pippen sat down on the PBD podcast with Patrick Bet-David and delivered his own cold assessment of LeBron's career, one that stopped people mid-scroll. This wasn't a random critic or a retired role player chasing clicks. This was Scottie Pippen, a six-time NBA champion, Michael Jordan's right-hand man, and someone who lived under true championship pressure year after year. If anyone understands what real winning looks like, it's him. Then came the moment that made jaws drop. When Pippen was asked whether he would put himself ahead of LeBron, he didn't hesitate. He said yes. 6 rings, he reminded everyone, the greatest sidekick in NBA history, openly declaring himself more successful than LeBron James, was shocking. LeBron owns nearly every individual accolade imaginable, an all-time scoring record, 10 finals appearances, and 2 decades of dominance. But Pippen brushed all of that aside and made his stance clear. For him, championships are the ultimate scoreboard, and by that measure, he believes he has LeBron beat.
A team standpoint.
Would you put yourself ahead of LeBron as a team standpoint?
My success as a team is more successful than LeBron. I got 6.
When the host tried to push back, Pippen didn't retreat. He doubled down and made his stance even sharper. He essentially argued that greatness isn't about piling up stats or controlling the spotlight, but about closing the deal when it matters most. That point cuts deep because it challenges the foundation of LeBron's legacy, not his highlights or numbers, but the results. And when you step back, a clear pattern starts to form. Barkley questions LeBron's mentality, while Pippen questions his winning. They're coming from different angles, but they're targeting the same pressure point. When legends from the same era begin echoing similar critiques, it stops sounding like background noise and starts feeling like a message LeBron fans don't want to hear. Pippen's comments were also a direct shot at the path LeBron has taken since 2010, leaving Cleveland to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, returning to Cleveland.
You want championships? Because I didn't chase mine.
This type of criticism from legends isn't new. It has been simmering quietly for years, building behind studio desks and podcast mics. After the Warriors swept LeBron's Cavaliers in the 2018 finals, Charles Barkley went on NBA TV and delivered a statement so firm and unapologetic that people still quote it today. This wasn't a hot take chasing clicks, it was a reflection of his genuine belief. Barkley didn't stop there. He doubled down, making it clear that he wasn't softening his message or backtracking. His words carried conviction because Barkley has never cared about public approval, and he speaks from experience. Having played against Michael Jordan, he felt that legendary pressure firsthand. So when Barkley says LeBron lacks that same edge, he isn't guessing. He's speaking from lived experience that most fans and analysts simply don't have. That's why LeBron's appearance on the Pat McAfee show, where he went after reporters, hit Barkley so hard. In his mind, it confirmed everything he had long suspected: control, image, power moves. To Barkley, it all lined up perfectly. LeBron wants control of the story, the crown, the respect, and he expects everyone to fall in line. According to these legends, if you don't play along, you get checked. Barkley believes LeBron pushes back on anyone who challenges his greatness, not with jokes or debates, but with pressure and presence. Scottie Pippen also added his perspective, explaining why he thinks LeBron and Jordan shouldn't even be mentioned in the same breath. Pippen argued that Jordan packed all his greatness into a tight window of pure dominance, a concentrated era where every game, every moment, and every performance exuded fear, intensity, and ruthlessness. In his view, that kind of dominance and presence is fundamentally different from LeBron's longevity-based approach, and it's why the comparisons are, in Pippen's words, misleading.
See in person for the rest of my life who try to tell me LeBron James is good as Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of him right on the spot. Right on the damn spot. No question asked. And I'm going to take my...
LeBron James's legacy is under intense scrutiny from some of the game's greatest voices, and the critique is about more than stats or championships. According to Hall of Famers Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen, LeBron's career, while extraordinary in numbers, lacks the unrelenting, fear-inducing intensity that defined legends like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Pippen points out that Jordan played 12 to 14 years of non-stop, full-throttle basketball. No pacing, no coasting, no load management. Every game, every possession, he came to take something from you.